Tommy, can you explain to us what the Tipp-Kilkenny rivalry means?
Well, I suppose there isn't much to explain really. Tipperary and Kilkenny, what more can you say about it really? Rivalries and hurling are really what it's all about. Kilkenny, we'd be fierce proud of our hurling. All we ever wanted to do was play hurling. We just love hurling. And then Tipperary boys, we always kind of had the attitude that they kind of preferred their cars and their haircuts and their tattoos and their two Johnnies and their Lar outside and that. And we really wanted to stop that in our day, And talking about rivalries, myself and a few of the boys, we'd be close to the Tipperary border even as well. And, sure, as I said, rivalries made hurling great, and our one was no less than any other one before, and even great rivals going back as far as Christy Ring as well, I suppose. He had a great rivalry at the time themselves in Limerick. And I remember one day, there's this story about Christy. He was marking Donny Broderick there from Drumculloher in Limerick. And he was getting the better of Christy this day anyway. And he turned around to Christy and he said, "Jesus, Christy, you're having a fierce quiet game." And sure, Christy couldn't answer him because, he was right. But the next 3 balls they came in, bang, 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 3 goals. And Christy turned back to Donny and he said, "Didn't so quiet now, boy." That'd be the type of man he was. And, we had fellas like that in our teams as well. And all we ever wanted to do was quieten them boys from Tipperary, And we just loved hurling. That's all we did.
Lar Sheedy is back this year, Eamon O'Shea is back. Do you see their fingerprints all over this team?
God, yeah, people have been talking all year there now since the boys came back, and it was great, fierce excitement around Tipperary and around with the boys, even as well. I was at an agricultural show when the news broke, and I met Brendan Marr, and I seen him coming across me, big smile in his face, and he said to me, "Jay Sheedy's back," And then the like of Eamon O'Shea is there as well now, and that's great impetus in there as well. And Eamon was always a great fella to have to encourage the movement and the free flowing, and we had boys, running in circles after myself and Noel McGrath especially, we kind of had the freedom to move all over the field, and everyone's been saying all year, about Eamon O'Shea's fingerprints being all over the team, and you can see him. I mean, his fingerprints are all over the team. Very similar to them boys that robbed my pub there a few years ago, right? Their fingerprints are still all over my pub as well. And if you think I've given up chasing you, you're wrong. And you obviously never seen the video of me chasing after Tommy Welsh. I didn't give up that day either. But Declan Ryan won't be there to take me off this time. And I'm telling you, I have a very particular set of skills, boys. Very particular. I have a fair pair of wrists on me. I will find you. And I'll kill you.
Brian, after 20 years, do you still get a kick out of managing this team?
Well, when you consider what you're asking me there, asking me if I'm the manager, is it, I suppose? I wouldn't consider myself the manager at all here, I'm the very same as any other Kilkenny hurling fan, it's just I'm in a very, very privileged position that I'm standing on the sideline being able to watch these players. And when it comes down to it, that's all I am. I'm a spectator, just because I'd wear a t-shirt that says Bonishore on it. I wouldn't consider myself a manager at all. Them players out there, they don't need to be managed in any way, shape or form whatsoever. They just know it has to be very, very competitive. And you talk about, again, 20 years. It could have been 20 minutes for as far as I'm concerned. Maybe it is 20 years, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't keep track of these kind of things,
Tommy, what's that up there behind you?
Oh, the frying pan. I was hoping he'd ask me about that. You see, this would be the very frying pan now. There's still a bit of grease on it, if you can see, look. The mother, she used to have them out on the morning of every All-Ireland, especially when we'd be playing Tipperary, right? And we'd have as you know from the analysis over the years and over the last while there especially, I'd be a fierce traditionalist, right? So I get up on the Sunday morning, in and around 7 bells, and the mother would have the fry on for me. 2 eggs, 2 sausages, 2 rashers, and you couldn't bake the pudding either now. 1 black and 1 white. I wouldn't go with 2 of each now, it'd be 1 of each, right? And even still now, I would make sure the porridge doesn't go out the door on Sunday morning without having to fry. I won't even clean it for him. He'll eat off this as well, right? Because that's just how traditional I would be in the house. That everything must stay the same. And you know yourselves, you talk about diet, huh? Them Cork boys, we were winning all Irelands on fries, while they were trying their urine tests, their water, their hydration, and I don't know if you know, but I was down in college at the time as well, down in Cork, and all we wanted to do was beat them as well, all we did was want to play hurling. They were there talking about their nutrition, and I was here waving the frying pan, working on building sites, eating breakfast rolls and just hurling away, what more can you do? All we wanted to do was hurl.
Now, there's going to be a lot of brilliant attackers on the field this Sunday. TJ Reid, Seamus Cannon, for example. Who would be the best attacker out there?
Well, I suppose you name probably they're two best at the moment in the country, Seamus Cannon, and TJ Reid then from Kilkenny, Like, you take Seamus, for example, he's scoring a lot of goals. He scores an awful lot of goals, and he have a yellow helmet like myself. But then on the other side as well, you have TJ Reid, who'll be left-handed like myself, like I was. And, he good in the air, catching the ball, great leader, he scores goals as well. So, I suppose, if you combine the two of them, you'd probably get someone that's nearly as good as me, or even me myself,
Brian, how special is this rivalry with Tipperary?
Well, rivalry, you're asking rivalry. What is a rivalry really? I don't know. I suppose when it comes down to it, at the start of every year, all the teams are looking to be in the All-Ireland final, and thanks be to God we're one of them two teams that are in the final. At the beginning of the year, people seem to be thinking that we weren't going to be there, but I had massive, huge confidence in these players, and we knew it was going to have to be very, very competitive, and that's the way it's going to be. The All-Ireland final, every final takes on a life of its own, and the game is there to be played. Every player is going to have to win the ball. The attitude will have to be right, and I suppose you're asking me then as well about Tipperary, and let's be honest about it. Tipperary, they have magnificent hurlers and they have great players, but when it comes down to it, am I concerned about who we're playing? Maybe we're playing Tipperary, maybe we're not, but it doesn't matter, no way at all. No. An All-Ireland final is there to be won. One team will win, one team will lose. Will it be us? Will it be them? Who can say really? But we're just going to be there and be competitive.
Tommy, Tipp and Kilkenny are back in an All-Ireland final. What would you put that down to?
Well, to be honest, when you think about it, I would put it down to breeding. How important breeding is in hurling, really. And, you're talking about local parishes and little villages, and like my own village there in Tullaroan, and, places like this in Kilkenny and Tipperary. And, when you consider the Fenleys, there's almost a direct line down from the 80s, them great teams, Liam Fenley, Gerard Fenley and the boys, and straight down then into Michael and Colin, and then you have as well James Marr from a neighbouring parish of my own there. He'd be a grandson of Pa Dillon, he'd be a son of Gillian Dillon, who won All-Ireland Camogies with Kilkenny, and a son of Noel Marr, who captained Kieran's to an All-Ireland as well, So it all comes down to breeding, and they wouldn't be the only boys as well. I suppose you have Adrian Mullen as well then, who'd be a cousin of the Fenleys too, and then on the Tipperary side you'd have the Mars back there, Pádraig and Ronan Marr, brothers of course, and then you have in goal then Ken Hogan's son, then Brian Hogan, and then sure one other fella, I suppose, my own brother Pádraig, sure. As they say, around here, an ounce of breeding is better than a ton of feeding.
Who do you think's going to win the final?
Well, look at with Liam Sheedy coming back on his first year back, it would be unbelievable if they won it now, and it'd be great for the boys, with Paddy there, Ron and Mar from my own club there, it'd be unbelievable for them as well, and having Eamon O'Shea back there as well, and the boys there, they're all working well together, and the year started off with a flyer, and we had a bit of a dip, and now we're back up on top again and playing against Kilkenny. It's unbelievable. You couldn't want another opponent, especially for Sheedy and the boys, and with the like of Jackie Tyrrell saying we had no balls in his book. We'll see now on Sunday who has balls.
Just to do a quick Q&A with you there, Brian. Who's your toughest opponent?
Well, sure. As a player, do you mean?
Yeah.
As a player, well, I mean, when I was playing, I mean, you came up against so many different players, different types of players, left-handed lads, right-handed lads, I mean, lads with a long hurl, lads with a small hurl, club training, club matches, county training, county matches, college games, I mean, there was all types of different opponents, but a toughest opponent, no, God, I don't know. God, I wouldn't even be able to recall, no, not at all, just different types of opponents.
What team do you most like to beat?
What team would I most? Well, whatever team is next, I suppose. I don't think about these teams. No, just whatever team is next, and that's it.
What's your proudest day in GAA?
Proud? I mean, yes, proud. What is the proudest day? I mean, the proudest day is always the next day. If you can win the game, if you can turn up, if you can be competitive. I mean, all it's about is being competitive. I mean, pride doesn't really come into it.
Who's the biggest joker on the panel?
I'd be.
Who's the best dressed?
Best dressed? Well, I wouldn't really be looking at their clothes really, as long as they're wearing the black and amber of Kilkenny. I mean, they're all well dressed to me.
Who's the worst dressed?
The worst dressed? I suppose the worst dressed people that I'd be coming across would be anyone that wouldn't be in the black and amber.
And the player you most admire from another sport?
Well, I look at all kinds of different sorts of sports, but I mean, I wouldn't be admiring anyone in particular. I mean, every sport has every different type of aspect. And I mean, that's just the way it is, I mean, this lad can do that and the other fella can do this. And I mean, somebody can kick a ball, somebody can catch a ball, somebody can strike a ball, somebody can bounce the ball. I mean, that's the way a sport is, but as far as admiring any particular man, individual, no, I wouldn't be able to say no.
And a manager you admire from another sport?
Well, God, managers. I mean, you come up with managers and you think that they're some kind of special gurus and things like that. But I mean, no, I meet these managers on social occasions, and no, we wouldn't even talk about sport really, to be honest. So I admire different type of people, but no one in general, no individual, no.
Who loves the media attention?
Well, anyone who did is gone.
Who thinks the women love them?
Oh God, that could be any number of fellas really. I mean, but I wouldn't be concerned with any of that. They all have helmets on to me. They're all faceless to me.
If you could transfer one player in the history to Kilkenny, who would it be?
Well, sure. Look at the reality of it is, transferring players. I mean, it doesn't happen in hurling, and thanks be to God it doesn't, because all I'd be looking for is someone who with great spirit and great drive, great motivation, great fierce competitiveness. Someone who's here to be very, very honest and work hard. And I mean, I wouldn't be looking to transfer anyone from any era. Every year was different. You had great players when I played, great players before me, great players after me. We have great players here now, but no, I wouldn't transfer anyone. No, not at all. I'm very happy with the squad I have.
Thanks very much, Brian. Best of luck in the final.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we might talk again, maybe. We'll see.